Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, a little bit past 7 p.m. on the East Coast. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do this show on tonight. I actually wasn't. I got to be forward with you all. I couldn't watch the entire Harris Club Shay Shay interview. I watched pieces of it. It was boring. It was stuff, I guess. I'll show you some parts of it and my opinion on it. It's got about 1 million views. That's not bad. It's not bad. Gets more views than my show gets, so I can't complain about that. But if I compare it to a Joe Rogan show, which already has like over 40 million or something like that, I'm sure some of you correct me. It's in that area, whatever it is. It's like that millions, tens of millions now. And to be fair, a larger chunk of Joe Rogan's audience will be international. That's true, a larger percentage. But even if it's twice as much, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's at least 20 times more at a minimum, maybe 40 or 50 times more, but a whole lot more. And there was more controversy and back and forth in the Joe Rogan Trump interview than there was that I saw, at least in this one. I did not see much of that back and forth at all. I'm happy to hear your view on this, but boy, did I not think it was going to be. No one's even talking about it. Like, it's people aren't talking about it. I wanted them to be I wanted her, and not because I want her to win or not. And that's not where I come at this from. I come at this from, if you're going to do a political thing, there should be value to it. And man, so many of Harris's things have been mediocre or duds. And I feel like she needs, like, why do this? I don't mean to be cruel. I don't. But why take the time when you have literally 2 weeks left? I think when this is done, this was actually taped like 3 days ago or whatever it was, right? Whenever it was recorded. Why take the time, right? Why take the time to go here, wherever this is? I don't know where he records his show, but to go to his show, spend an hour there, and leave. For what? For what? Stay in Pennsylvania then. Stay in Michigan, whatever. Again, I'm not trying to be cruel. I'm trying to be realistic on this. Why did she do this? I don't get it. And then, I don't know if you heard this, but Rogan put out a tweet today. Or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. It might have been today. Anyway, recently, saying, look, the Harris team has not disagreed that they would come. I told you guys that. Harris has not said no yet. Smart move, Harris team. Didn't say no yet. But they offered, if what he says, what Joe Rogan says, and I believe him. Rogan said that they offered next Tuesday. I'm sorry, this Tuesday. Yes, they offered this Tuesday, like today. But he had to fly to her and then give her an hour. And they give him an hour. And he said, no, she should come to me and we'll have a conversation. And here's the weird part. Rogan said, and he publicly, he said, you can even control like the topics. Like, we won't talk about policy if you don't want. Rogan wants to have the conversation. I get it. I get it. And they still like, well, we don't know. So to be forward, either you or your team, whoever, or a combination, made the decision, we should take an hour to do this thing online and not do Rogan for that. Now, if I look at Joe Rogan on YouTube, just on YouTube, 1.9 million likes. Now, I don't know how that works on Spotify or whatever, but 1.2 million. I go to Club Shay Shay, 44,000. This is, Mike says it correct. Thank you, Mike. Mike is here watching. He goes, it was a waste of time. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. This is why I'm disappointed, right? And you remember why I was disappointed? I was saying, if you're going to take the time out from being in a swing state, take the time out. Either stay in the basement and shut up. That's option one. Okay, I get that. Well, actually, too late for that shit. That was months ago. You should have followed my advice there. But you didn't want to put her in the basement. Or she didn't want to be in the basement, probably. she probably got out and said, I'm cool, I can go do this stuff, right? This is my people, I can go do this. She probably thought that. Okay, then you got it. Why didn't she go on there with some amazing new idea, with some amazing new thing, whatever it is? You might go, Larry, she didn't have any. You have a team. So make it up. Come up with something, a new plan. It's okay. You might go, Larry, it's hard. Yes, it's true. But some of you listening, I'm sure, know that I have lots of policies. I don't make those all up myself. I know it sounds like I do, but I don't. I have a team of people who we get together and we talk about things. I do research. Do you think I read all the laws? I don't. There are lots of people, particularly libertarians, who love reading laws. I'm not joking. Many of you out there probably do like that stuff too. So I find the people who enjoy reading all the laws. They read the laws, they come back into a team, and we talk about the laws, how it works now, what the situation, what the regulations are. Yes, lots of people, if you ask them for help, there are tons of people in this world, I'm not one of them, who love reading regulations, understanding how to get around it, trying to be like legal experts. Tons. Get them together. She has tons of lawyers. She's a lawyer. Get together, make some policy, show up on a show, and blow us away with a new policy on housing or poor people or taxi cab drivers. Something. This was your shot. Blow us away with something. Someone's talking about it. You've got 1 million people watching. So they talked about student loans. What's your cool and special student loan idea? Stimmy checks. What's your new stimmy check idea? Whatever. I'm not trying to be a nudge. I'm trying to say, if you're gonna go do this, why wouldn't, or don't do it? Like, don't do it. What a horrible, horrible waste of time, energy. And it couldn't have been a better place to do it. And let me just show you the beginning. Now, Mike already saw this. If he didn't, I would tell him to get his bucket. But some of you might want to get a bucket. I'm just saying, it's pretty bad. But worth it. You will understand why. This is the opening. I'll just give you the opening. After this, I was like, okay, like I get it. Like once you see the opening, you will 100% get this completely. All right, here's the opening.
She's the highest ranking woman in U.S. history. She's made a career of being first. She's the first woman to serve as Attorney General, African-American, Asian-American descent. She's been district attorney of San Francisco. She was the nation's first Indian-American senator. She's the first woman, first Black Asian-American to be elected vice president. She set the record for the most tie-breaking votes cast by a vice president. She's the first Black woman, Asian-American in U.S. history to win the presidential nomination of a major party. She's the first HBCU grad, making us proud. She's a Howard University alum. She's a member of the prestigious Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. Here she is in person, Madam VP, Kamala Harris. Madam VP, how you doing?
Thank you very well, Shannon.
Literally people in the background clapping. Did you hear that? So they're all happy she's there. And literally, I just want to sit here and say, if I could, let me give you all of your accolades and all of your comeuppance, all the good things you've gotten in life, all based upon you being Black and or Asian or a woman. Where was she locked up the most people or passed the greatest law or didn't lock up bad people or name the thing. What was the thing? Was responsible for this thing? No. She happened to be Black, Asian, and a woman. Yeah. It's amazing. She happened to be Black. She happened to be Asian. And she happened to be a woman. That's not, don't get me wrong. Those are nice things. I'm not saying those aren't nice things. They are nice things. They are. But then where is the achievement that goes along with that, right? I can say I'm the first Black libertarian governor candidate that the libertarians had in New York State. Okay, that's wonderful and true. And what did I do? Right now you would say, and he got ballot access for the first time in 50 years. Oh, that's an achievement that I did as the first Black libertarian candidate for governor in New York State. So I'm not against the black part. If you want to say that, if that has, I get it. Yes. But then I have to do something too to make it valuable. What if I was a terrible candidate and did nothing? What if I got like 5,000 votes? He's the first black libertarian candidate in New York State. What do you do? Oh, nothing. He got 0.0001%. No one paid attention to him. He was terrible. Well, then the black part doesn't matter. The black part makes it worse. If I suck, the black part makes it worse. Don't say I was black then. Say I was a white guy. At that point, if I suck. So you have to add the good things. It doesn't mean, hold on. Pinkerbell says, did you miss the elected positions that were listed? They don't mean, lots of people get elected. That's not a thing. And in the system that I know, I live in New York, in California, all you have to do is be the establishment person and you win. I think Eric Adams won. Bill de Blasio. What did you do once you were elected? Right? What did you do once you were elected? That's what I'm saying. Or during the election, or after the election, or after you lost, right? Whatever the thing may be. I'm okay with any of them. None of that. This literally leans in to every insult the right says. The right will say, oh, she's a DEI hire, she's all that stuff. And this leans into it. The same way the knuckleheads in the Trump campaign put that comedian up front and he said the dumb jokes. And now all the left is going, see, all Democrats going, see, he's racist. Now she starts with this, the same thing. All Republicans go, see, it's all DEI. It's all about race and gender. Yes, you just gave them the thing. If I saw him doing that, I either would have stopped him or I would have added. If it's me, if I'm sitting there and he's just going, Larry's the first black guy to do this and the first black guy to do that. I hope he wouldn't do that to me, but if he did, I'm like, and you know what else? I would then say the other things that mattered. Or I'm in trouble because I don't want to be just because I'm black. That, again, I'm not taking away that. Being a woman vice president is a big deal. And what did you achieve when you got there? Or what did you learn when you got there? What did you do when you got there? There has to be a second component to this or this fails. And that's how it begins. And that's the problem. Because what happens is anyone who already liked her because of reasons already likes her. If you like this kind of thing, you already liked her. You're good. No one's changed. If you didn't like her, validated. If you're on the fence, this didn't help. That's my point. Didn't do anything. It's almost like, in fact, because it's Club Shay Shay, it acts like this is what you're supposed to do, right? Thank you for the $10, Jonathan. Shannon Sharpe's podcast was Harris campaign Hail Mary pass to raise black men support. Not going to work though. Agreed. This did not work, right? Look, I know a lot of people in the black community really care about historically black colleges and universities. I know that's true. A lot do. But most of us didn't go, right? Most of us didn't go. And if you're seeing it now, if you're watching those places now, there's a whole lot more white men there and white women than you would expect if you've seen the classes recently. There's a whole lot of people who aren't black going there, particularly a whole lot less black men going there. So I get you want to say that. I do. But again, great. What happened after, right? Where's the things that she's achieved, not the offices you've been elected to, right? Trump's been elected president. Does that make him better than her by default? No, she hasn't elected that. I guess Trump wins the accolade game. No. What did he do? Did you like what he did? Not like what he did? I know I'm really pushing on this, but this starts the entire thing. This starts the entire thing. And it just becomes horrible.
The extreme honor, privilege, and a pleasure to have you on Club Shay Shay. CJ, who's the producer here, when we started this journey, Madam VP, 4 years ago, celebrities, athletes, entertainers, influencers.
Yeah.
He is fawning over her. Fawning over her. How can this be a challenging interview? It can't. It can't. Now, I know a lot of people got mad at Joe Rogan for being light on Trump. That's true. It's an accurate and fair criticism. It was 100%. It was a fair criticism. Rogan was not hard on Trump, 100%. But did he fawn over Trump like that? He was very good to him, very good to him. But I would argue he would be good to Harris if she showed up too, right? I think if Rogan gets Harris on, he'll be good to her too. He will not pressure her. He won't be mean to her. He'll hit her here or there like he did Trump, but he will not be that bad. My worry is that if Trump was on his show, he'd be harder. I could be wrong.
VPs and presidential hopefuls were on the bingo card. You're here, so I want to thank you very much.
I thank you.
When we have guests come on, Madam VP, we like to toast. And what I read on this card, you don't deserve this. You earned this, being the first in so many areas. And
you earned it being the first. Really? Is that true? Now you start the whole, this is what you see. This was, if you're, again, according to some people, this was supposed to be an outreach to Black men. Okay. So you're saying you just earned this, you worked hard. Is that what you're saying? What?
You make us proud. I just want you to know you make us proud for what you've been able to accomplish.
By the way, Shannon Sharpe now speaks for all Black people. Didn't you? I don't know if you know that. Last week he was nominated and anointed Emperor of Black people. So I'm proud now. Mike, stop. You're proud. Our Emperor has spoken. Kintsugi, our Emperor has spoken. We are proud. Okay. Shit. The Emperor has spoken. She makes us all proud. You don't talk. All right. Done.
And we're 12 days away, and we hope you have an even greater accomplishment. So here's to continue success and everything you've done.
Wow, literally said, I hope you win. He literally, to start the interview, I'm going to start the interview by endorsing you. That's what I'm going to do. So let's now start talking. I'm going to start the interview by endorsing you. Now, look, I'm not against Shannon Sharpe. Good last name, by the way. I'm not against Shannon Sharpe at all backing Harris. Awesome. I don't mind. A lot of people don't back Harris. At least half my friends. More than half my friends back Harris. I get it. You back Harris. But you don't fawn over the person on an interview like this. At the end, you can endorse her or whatever. You can endorse her. No, you can. But even Joe Rogan didn't endorse Trump on this and didn't start with it. This is terrible. This is the beginning. I think it makes him look bad too. Like, this is okay. Maybe not the best example, but I think one that might be comparable. You look at someone like Charlemagne the God when he goes on. Even if he likes you, he will still give you pushback. Even if and if he doesn't like you, he's going to ambush you, right? I mean, he completely ambushed Jill Stein, right? Absolutely ambushed Jill Stein. But at least he'll give you pushback, even if he likes you. I was on Ebro. Ebro gave me pushback, and at the end, he literally said, if you watch the Ebro when I was on Ebro in the morning, Ebro said, I might vote for you. I might. That's what he said. That was the best he got. I might vote for you. I'll take it. But he gave me pushback. He pushed me on my stuff, and it was a morning show chat. He can't even do a morning show chat. It's terrible.
And everything that you will do.
Oh,
it makes him look bad.
And thank you. And to you, Shannon, thank you for all the success and the voice you give to so many issues. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And
much.
cheers to you.
Cheers.
And I'm not going to actually drink this because I might fall asleep. And I need to do this
I don't want you to fall
Barack
asleep.
Obama this afternoon.
We don't want you to fall asleep.
So
name dropping it.
Here we are. Cheers to everybody.
So before we get into the things that you want to do once you become president of the United States,
before we get into the things that you will do once you become president of the United States,
I want to go back when you found out when President Biden called you.
Now, I'm not going to go on speak, but the calling part, this was already done. Was the CBS interview, was it already done? So she says it once again. Once again, she has to tell her story once again. He begins that same way. This interview bothered me so much because it wasn't really an interview. It really was. Missy puts it. Yeah, that's me on Ebro. I was several years ago. If you want to see it, that's me on Ebro, on Hot 97 here in New York. But again, thank you for that, Missy. This was terrible in that regard. He wasn't there saying, Okay, tell me about this or about that. He's giving her a platform to say her stories again. This is the part that I can't stand. Most of her stuff, this is what we attack her on all the time. Oh, she just tells stories. I'm a middle class kid. So now you make her tell stories again. I don't. Michael, you say, what is it with interviewers trying to get Kamala drunk on camera? She's a closet drinker. You know what? I'd rather her be drunk. I'm starting to believe what Joe Rogan said. Joe Rogan's like, I just want to have a talk to her. I'd rather just talk to her. I guess, because I don't think she has any policies. So maybe that's the right answer. What I keep seeing here is just chatting and saying nothing constantly. And this is trying to be helpful. Like, this is what her people think. Why are you doing this? I'm so frustrated because I see what a colossal waste. If I was on her team, I'd be screaming. I'd be screaming. Literally, I'd be going, what are we doing? Hope I'm getting paid this month because this is terrible. This is horrible. It is. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm getting stressed because it's such a colossal waste of time. It's such a colossal waste of time and energy to be doing this when you should be doing something else.
Mm-hmm. I had a sense of it, like so many of us, when you this is your life, right? So there are those moments where your instinct kicks in, mm-hmm. sometimes before your conscious mind and thoughts do.
Right.
And my instinct kicked in immediately that I need to focus, mm-hmm. and I need to do certain things immediately, which include.
So this is the part. You just got told that you might be the president. And you thought, my instinct kicked in that I should start focusing. No, your intellect did. If someone told any of us here, hey, by the way, hey, Phil, tomorrow, I'm letting you know you might be president. You'd be like, holy crap, I better go learn some stuff. Yeah, I'm be president tomorrow. Yeah, you might be. Holy crap, I better get ready. Yes. But I'd ask one more question. Shouldn't you already be ready? You're the vice president. Now, Phil, he's not the vice president, so he probably not ready. I got it. I'm with you. He's not ready. Shouldn't she have been ready? Shouldn't she have? In the Marine Corps, and you military guys will know this, we were taught we have to know the job of the guy 2 levels above us, 2 ranks above us. So if I'm a corporal, I got to be prepared to be a staff sergeant. If I'm a sergeant, I can be prepared to be a gunnery sergeant. I have 2 above. I got to be ready for that. If X hits the fan, I got to be ready for it. If I'm vice president, I better be ready to be president like today, because something could happen, as we saw a couple attempts happening up here. You got to be ready. You got to be ready. You're not ready yet? This is the part that drives me crazy. And she was happy. Oh, I got to start figuring stuff out. Now? None of this makes her look good, right? None of this makes her look impressive. None of it is positive on her side. It's all just constant mediocre stuff that makes people think you're just okay. And if you watch some of the things, how should this piece here? This part you may enjoy. This is a part that you just watch how. Look at what Shannon looks like. Just watch look at his face here. Just loving every single thing he has. Loving it, right? And I don't know why Shannon wears a suit to be forward. I don't know why he wears a suit. Like, why do you wear a suit? You got your muscles popping everywhere. I know I'm not all tough, big like Shannon, but I look better in a suit than this guy does. He looks like none of his suits fit.
Nobody like you has done this before. And I tell them, don't you ever listen to that. I like to say, I eat no for breakfast. I don't hear no. You ask me what I eat for breakfast? I eat no for breakfast. I don't hear it.
Right.
And that's part of what are my life.
So this is all about, again, if you're a woman or if you're black or if you're this or if you're that, you can do it. Bootstraps, all that kind of good stuff. If I could do it, you could do it. I get it. I do. I get it.
Life lessons that I try to share with young people to remind them that you cannot ever be burdened by other people's limited ability to understand who you are. Like,
see, that's because you racist. You just, that's you racist. That's the problem.
Don't let their limited ability burden you
Right. See that?
About your own ability,
Madam,
because that's what I want in a president. Someone will tell me, oh no, that's Tony Robbins. Sorry, wrong guy. That's what I want. No, so I don't want that in a president, do I? No, I don't. I don't care about that. Yes, absolutely, 100%. So anyway, Greg says, like telling young people that they're stupid. Yes, which she did. Thank you, Greg. It's exactly correct. Yes, Michael says Shannon wears a suit because he can rip it like the Hulk when he gets angry. He can pull it off and go, oh, Kamala mania. I'm sorry, Harris mania, run along. He can go do that. Maybe. Absolutely. Mike says black men can see right through this foolishness. Yes. Benny Johnson went to Atlanta and all black people there wanted MAGA hats they were handing out. I met Benny at the MSG event. I'm in the video on the channel. Oh, look at you, Mike. You're now famous. I love that. I like that. It's very good. Yes. Mike says, Shannon wears badly tailored suits because he doesn't buy them nor wear them. He uses it to look important. It's his badge of importance. I think you may be right. And I'd rather him actually not wear that suit. Like, don't wear that suit. Wear something else. Or wear a different one. But don't wear that suit. Yeah. So Andrea says, you're right, Larry. She's been ready. Yes. Yes. 100%. You should be going through everything. Adrian, thank you for being a member. I heard a lot of pushback. She's Indian, she's Jamaican, not Black American experience. Her degrees are admirable, but also not as relatable as coming up less advantage. I think there's some value to that. I do, right? For those of you who are in the Black world or have a lot of Black friends or Black family, you know that there's definitely colorism within the Black community. There's definitely issues between, are you Black enough? Did you come from America? Did you come from Jamaica? There's definitely some of that. 100% true. Adrian, I think you're right. That is accurate. But I don't care. You're correct, and I don't care. Both of those two things are true. If you're Black, you're Black. It's fine. And again, I'm not taking away the kudos that she has being a woman. No doubt her coming up, particularly in the 80s and 90s, no doubt it was tougher. No doubt. Say it. I got you. And is my point. And I don't remember, as I went through this, I don't remember one thing she said that was about her achievement, right? Like doing something. Yeah. Love My Canine says, it was an attempt to show an underdog that defied all odds. An inspirational story. Yeah, bucket. Yeah, it's not going to work because exactly what Adrian said, right? Exactly what Adrian said. That's the problem, right? It's not like, and even she said, I came from a middle-class family. If you're going to give a story, it's got to be, I came from the poor neighborhood. I came out of the ghetto or something, right? That's how you got to, if you're going to play that game, play it right, right? And play it right if you're going to play that game. It doesn't work that way. So, yes. All righty. Kim says, thank you for being a member, Kim. I was directed to go online and read her policies. I said, I want to hear her policies and see her body language when she states her policies. Yeah. That's it. Go read, not talk. Go read, don't talk. She's bad at this. And all I'm saying is I get you're bad at this. I do. Practice then, damn it, practice. Right? Just practice. It's okay. You can actually do this. Practice. If you can't do it now, why aren't you practicing? Why don't you already know this? Democrats, you screwed up not having an actual primary. So Riot says, oops, hold on. Riot says, I've been waiting to hear your take on this. So far, what I thought you would say is spot on. Also off topic, but I voted in North Carolina today and I voted in RFK Jr. I think a lot of people are writing in RFK Jr. They are. But I do think more, I think the data is in. More people who support RFK Jr., who supported him, over half will actually be voting in Trump. I think over half will be. But there are a chunk who will be voting for RFK Jr. I think it's still a chance that RFK gets 1 million votes. I think he can still get it. I think he's still making 1 million votes. That's kind of what I was thinking. So, yeah. Anyway. All righty. Let's see here. Mike says it was recorded 5 days ago. She had time for Rogan. Also, they knew it was bad and didn't have it aired until they had no choice. Oh, yeah, that makes sense, actually. But the problem is, again, I know I keep saying this, and I sound like a broken record. And I do because if any of you have done this, if you've been on campaigns and you've had to deal with a candidate, when a candidate goes up and says the thing they're supposed to say, and you were on that team, you feel magical. You feel like if I was on her team and I had given him some story to tell, right? Not a coconut tree story, but some other story, like how she, I don't know, beat up a bully in high school or whatever. I'm making whatever story she has, right? And I tell her and we go through how to say it, when to say it. And then Shannon says the right thing and I go, okay, say it. And then Harris then says the story. I feel like a hero. Like, yes, we did it. She said the story. She did a thing. Or they come up with some policy and I tell her how to make the policy pop up with a one-liner or a zinger. And she does the one-liner or the zinger. Oh, yes. And the first time I did this was in 2014. 2014, I was supporting our New York State gubernatorial candidate, a guy named Michael McDermott. He has since passed. But I gave him like 2 or 3 zingers. I was at this debate prep in 2014. It was in Buffalo, New York. I literally drove him up there, paid for his hotel. I was his driver, the whole deal. Get him into Buffalo. He's fighting me the entire way. He does not want to. I'm timing him on responses while I'm driving, looking at my watch while I'm driving, timing him on responses because he doesn't want to do it, right? He's fighting me the entire way. Just wants to shake hands, kiss babies, does not want to learn shit. Just didn't want to. So at the end, I figured, okay, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to give him some zingers. So I gave him like 3 or 4 one-liners, some zingers to do. He loves zingers. That was fun. During debate, he threw them out. And I was like, yes. The feeling you get when that happens is amazing. I got to think your team's sitting there just in tears, just crying. Why didn't she say the thing? We told them. They're just probably crying because she just says, unless they're actually telling her to say this garbage, in which case they've just given up. They're like, fine, say what you want. It doesn't matter. Let's make sure the check clears. I mean, they could be there, I guess. That's my only
VP,
thing.
you were raised by a single mom.
Okay,
what did that experience tell you about your mom, and what did it tell you about you?
Well, it told me.
Okay, now that single mom question should be like that answered. Should be immediately answered. Let me tell you, if you ask my father dying, it's not even rehearsed. I've been asked that question as a semi-public figure a gazillion times. I know how to answer it. Why in the world would you not be able to answer that question immediately? Why in the world wouldn't you be able to now talk about what it means, how it feels, right? A lot of people in this country are raised by a single mom. If I remember right, it's over 50% now of American children are raised by a single parent. The vast majority of those are single moms. So think about how many people could connect to her. Not just Black men, but just, I mean, a lot of Black men are also raised by single parents too, but white people, Hispanic, Asian, lots of Americans are now raised by single parents, mostly single moms. Think about what this could have been, how she could have connected.
That one of the things that is precious is to build community and family.
Okay.
Like my mother, she understood.
This is the problem. At no point, and this is her personal problem. I can tell this is her personal problem. And Waltz is the same way. Her and Waltz are the same in this regard. And it's one of the reasons the way the Democratic Party is working right now. But this is her. You can never admit any flaw. Now, don't get me wrong. Trump is terrible on this too. Terrible. Trump's terrible. Trump will admit a flaw if he can put it around 75,000 good things, right? And then make the flaw tiny. Then, like he did it on Rogan, like, well, I did pick some wrong people, but I picked great people and lots of great people. But I picked some people who weren't that good, but all the rest were awesome. And one guy wasn't bad, but we had the best policies. We had the best everything. That's how Trump does it. He'll say he made a mistake, but he's got to clover it and flower around nothing but good stuff. She can't even do that. How about saying how hurt you were? How about saying how you missed your dad? How about saying how you were jealous of other fathers? How about that? That's how I felt. When I lost my dad, I was jealous of everybody else's father. Why didn't I have one? Why didn't I have one? And I can tell you that because that was real. And if you lost your dad, yes, right now you're thinking, shit, Larry, I felt the same way. Of course you did, because you were a kid. And that's how kids feel. You could have said that. No. We had to build community because we're still great no matter what, instead of her actually trying to connect to somebody. When you lose a parent at an early age, there's a percentage of time in your life where you become a little asshole. And if you did, you know what I'm talking about, because you're mad at the world because they took your mom or they took your dad, and you're mad at the world and you blame everybody. In fact, you even blame yourself. And you're mad at the world and you are an ass. As a kid, I was. I know many of you who've had that problem. Same thing. Jealous of this, jealous of that, mad about this, because you're a kid. And eventually, hopefully, you figure out how to deal with it. Some of us longer, some of us shorter, but you figure out how to deal with that issue and you move on. But initially, it seems unfair. Say that and connect. Why didn't her team tell her that? Or did she go, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say I was weak. That's what I think happened. Because if it's me, it's the first thing I'm going to tell them to do. I'm going to tell her to do. Connect. Show some vulnerability. Show how human you are. Be vulnerable. Be a human and say how it sucked. Nope.
That there is a community that she wanted her children to be raised in.
Mhm.
And she was very intentional and purposeful about that. And so I always say to people, even when I took the stage as the nominee for the Democratic nomination,
blew right by it. Do you understand, for those of you who want to be in this world, who either want to run for office or help somebody run or see how this works, you have to know when to connect. This was the time to connect. And she dropped the ball completely. And I want you to think, what if she'd actually said that? You know, when I lost my father, it sucked. Here's how it sucked. Here's what happened. Here's how I felt. And even say something, and I've said this, right? My mom was not perfect. And I've told this more than once. My mom was an addict. My mom was a felon. Does that I don't love her? Because I didn't love her to death? I didn't try to save her? Of course I did. I love my mom, of course. But I can see flaws in my mom as flaws in me. Why don't you say that? You know, my mom was good at this, but she could have done this better. All of us, none of us have perfect parents. All of our parents made mistakes because they're human. You as a parent, you made mistakes. You're human. I'm a parent. I make mistakes. I'm human. Say it. I wish my mom had done this. You know, she did the best she could. I wish she had done that. I look back now when I see she could have done this. She could have done that. I could have done this. My God, we'd all be going, wow. Yeah. I felt the same way. My mom could have, my dad could have, but no. It's almost like she is purposely trying to hide who she is. And people go, and they always go, we don't know who Kamala is. Of course you don't know who Harris is. She won't tell you, except stories about coconuts and middle class. She won't break it down. She won't at all. Again, Trump's bad at this too. I'm not saying Trump, but here's the issue. Trump is terrible with empathy. He was better on the podcast. In fact, on the podcast, he showed some empathy. But on the normally, he's not, he projects strength like there's no tomorrow. He's like people say he's tyrant. He projects strength very well. Doesn't do empathy that well. She doesn't project strength well either. She's not telling you what she's going to do, how she's going to do it. She's not doing it. And then I'll do this, and then I'll do that. The only time she's angry is when she's mad at Trump on how bad he is. But for herself, she doesn't defend herself well. She doesn't say what she's going to do. And she has no empathy. She's a terrible candidate. And my point is, if you're her team, you know this. Give her a story. I'm sorry. You guys got me going. Yeah, you guys got me going on this. Vivek says, even Indians don't claim her. A lot of Indians, such as myself, are insulted by her. Rokana, Raja, I got to say this name. Krishnamurti and Pramila Jayapal, or at least come across as Indian. That's true. No, I think you're right. They come across directly as Indian. I agree. Like if you look at them, you get the feel from them. Yes, I completely agree. I think it's true. Yes. All righty. Yeah. All right. Adrian goes on to say, I don't care where she's from either. I care about policies. Me too. I'm with you. Yes. Andrew says she should know her policies. Yes. Absolutely. 100%. And then why Liberty says she will only interview in her safe spaces. Then knock it out of the park, brother. If you know it's safe, knock it out of the park. Right? That's the issue. Knock it out of the park. Why aren't you hammering it? So, anyway. All right. The AC says, I was pretty much a single dad for a while. It was awesome. I wouldn't trade those years with my kid for anything. I'm sure it's amazing, right? I'm sure that's amazing for you. But I would bet that your kid doesn't think you're perfect, because kids don't think their parents are perfect. And if your kid grows up to do something like this, I think at one point your kid would say, yeah, my dad was great, but I wish he had done X. And everyone else would go, oh yeah, my dad did do that. Or my dad did do that. Or any of those things, right? You can connect. They can connect. Or maybe she would say something that connect with you, AC. She might go, my mom loved being a single mom because she loved having all the time with us, like you did. Even that would connect. And the fact that you would say what you just said, I'm sure there's people here who are listening and seeing this, and they're single parents. And they're like, oh yeah, you know what? I love that too. Again, you can connect. It's a human time, right? Christine, thank you for being a member. She says she's an incredibly broken person. I don't think she knows what's real. There's a part of me that thinks that too, right? There's a part of me that thinks that too. There's a part of me that does think that. But look, to be forward, to do what these people do, I do it too. You have to have an ego. You do. Oh, you can't do this, right? Anybody who wants to run for office and goes, you know, I don't want to be all about me. Don't run for office. You don't have the personality for it. You don't. I'm not to be mean. You have to. You have to be able to wear your name on your chest. If you can't do that, do not run for office. You got to be able to be okay when it's center stage you. The difference is, can you also accept when someone else is in the front stage and you're number two? Can you accept that? Clearly, I do that as I support many other candidates. I'm a surrogate, so I can, step down when I need to. But when I need to step up, I'll put my name on my shirt and I'll sit in the front. Of course I will. If you can't do that, problem is lots of people who do that, two things happen. They either have an imposter syndrome. So, imposter syndrome it's when you're there, but then you think you don't deserve it. It's a common problem. Lots of people have it. So I'm really not that good of a person. I don't really deserve this. I didn't really earn it. Lots of people believe this. And because of that, they put up walls because they think if I let anybody in, they'll figure out I don't deserve this. Now, here's the funny part. Some of the people who feel that way actually do deserve it. Like they've actually worked hard. They actually are smart. They actually are talented. And they actually deserve what they got. They worked hard for it. They deserve it. But they feel like they don't, even though they do. And some people don't deserve it and feel the same way. So the fact that someone has imposter syndrome doesn't mean they didn't deserve it. It means they feel like they don't deserve it. So they become afraid and they put up big walls and they don't want to let anybody in. Now, I'm the kind of narcissist that thinks I deserve everything. So damn you all. That's why I leave my walls down, because I don't care, right? I don't care. My walls are down. So I am what's called a healthy narcissist. That sounds crazy, but it's actually a thing. You can look it up. It's a thing. Most narcissists, when they want the spotlight, they win so others can lose. But healthy people say, I want to win. Everybody could win though, just as long as I win. We could all win. Let's all win together. That's me. Let's all win together. Let's all pay our bills. Let's all be happy. Let's all win. But I want to win still. And I'm still going to wear my name on my shirt. So I'm going to do that. You might go, Larry, that sounds horrible. It doesn't matter. It's true. And anyone who's doing this kind of thing will have some kind of personality where they don't mind being center of attention. If you're okay being center of attention, you can do this kind of work, what she's doing, run for office, whatever. If you don't like it, you should not do this kind of work because you will be center of attention. And everything you do is recorded forever. Every failure you make is recorded forever. And you must accept that, or you should not do this kind of work. Be in the background, help people out, be on teams, that kind of stuff. I personally don't care. I've accepted I'm not good at everything a long time ago. So Weapons, thank you for the $5. Stage managing Kamala Harris is like dealing with A-Train from the Deep on the TV show The Boys. She's constantly off track, way off yonder. Yeah, do you think Trump's easier? Trump's tough too. The difference between her and Trump is if Trump goes off, the rail, off track, he's been in the media enough to get back. Guess what? Trump's been in the media for decades. He was doing McDonald's commercials like in the 80s, right? He was doing like WWE stuff in like was it 80s or 90s, right? 90s? I think 90s, whatever. So like 30 years ago. He was doing The Apprentice 20 years ago, right? I mean, he's been in this the whole time. She hasn't. She hasn't. When it comes to this kind of spotlight, Trump's got her beat by decades of experience. Decades of experience. She doesn't have that. She is outgunned in that regard. 100% she's outgunned there. He just has far more experience in this. And that's one of the reasons why, if you want to do this, you have to keep doing stuff like this. So, yes. Where was it? Adrian says, yes, Larry, humanize yourself, make yourself more relatable. Yes. Adrian says, showing vulnerability to me is a sign of strength. I agree completely. Completely. It's one reason why I do it. One reason I'm an open book. I'm an open book because I want you to trust me. I don't want, never. I've told you 1,000 times and 1,000 things about me and about my life and all those things. And it's all literally being recorded and I do it live. So, and I was just on the other day, I've done over 500 of these shows, plus 221 shortwave radios, plus 130 some odd Live Drink Coffee Live, plus about 50 something Sharpe Sharpe clubs. It's about 1,000 shows like this, all live. And that's all since 2019. And before that, I've done at least 500 live events running for office, 1,500 events where I've been in front of people. How can I remember all the lies I told? I couldn't because I didn't tell any. I just tell truth. So if anything changes, there's a reason why it changed. Like I might have changed my mind for some reason. Otherwise, it's just, I just tell the truth. So I am ultimately vulnerable. And I learned that, I think in my, as a kid probably, but I learned it as a politician from Gary Johnson in 2016, 2012. When I was Gary Johnson's surrogate in 2016, he told me, he was like, Larry, I don't want to remember stuff. Just tell the truth. You don't have to remember anything. Just tell the truth. You never have to remember anything. And he's right. So that's why I do so much to this with no notes. You don't see, I don't have notes. You don't see any notes here. There's no notes. I just talk. There's no notes. I just tell the truth and that's it. And how I feel. And that's all. Whatever happens. And I try to get you to trust me because I've said it before. I can have you disagree with me. I can have you mad at me. I can have you think I'm wrong, but I can't have you not trust me. Because if you don't trust me, you'll never come back. You'll be like, I don't trust that guy. You can go, he's wrong on that. No, Larry, you're wrong on that one. That's not true. Or, oh, that's stupid. What are you thinking? Yeah. But if you just say, I don't trust him, done. Yes. Greg says, lost my dad when I was 7. Oh, that sucks. My dad's father then kind of took his role. We went golfing a lot. My mom was awesome too. She was my 4th grade teacher. She was so strong through that heartache. You just showed some vulnerability, Greg. And I know there are people who are watching or listening who are saying, I lost somebody, and then somebody stepped into that role for me, like your dad's father, or the reverse. Some people who are like, I wish I had a grandfather who could have stepped in, but my grandfather was gone or wasn't around or died or whatever, right? They're having problems too. But again, it's connect, right? It's connection. And you also mentioned heartache, letting the world know that your mom wasn't happy when your dad went away or died. I'm assuming you mean he died, but whatever happened to him. Yeah. Yes. That's terrible. So thank you for even saying that. I do appreciate it. Yes. All righty. So, okay. I'll grab a couple more of these. So hold on. Colity, how are you? Harris could do some self-reflection and evaluate what's working and what needs tweaking. Same fake, different day. There, you've hit a thing that people haven't noticed that I want to bring up here very clearly. She's not learning, or her team isn't, or they've given up. She's not learning. Like you keep doing the same thing. And Frank Luntz has been on CNN and MSNBC telling her what to do. He's been telling it. Frank Luntz is one of the best consultants, one of the best pollsters on the planet. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. He goes to other countries and does work. People take him in other countries. That is how good he is. He's one of the best on the planet. And he is saying similar stuff to what I'm saying. We just went a little bit stuff, but similar stuff. He's saying similar stuff that I'm saying. And her team must be watching CNN and MSNBC and going, hey, Frank Luntz said we should do X, Y, and Z. And they're like, nah, we're going to keep doing the same shit. We're going to win this. Look, if they win this, and Harris can still win this thing, If she wins this thing, what does it say about us? What does it say about teams? But she might win this thing. Who knows? It could still happen. So, yes. Kim goes on to say, it sadly takes a lifetime for some people to come around to the truth like you did. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I do appreciate that. Look, the reality of it is, for someone like her, she really should have just a long time ago come clean on who she is. A long time ago. And she didn't. Just say what's going on. You had the opportunity. You're VP. You're sitting around doing basically nothing. Just do it. And she didn't. She lost that opportunity. All right.
Gas prices are extremely high. Groceries are extremely high.
Yep.
This rent. I mean, it used to be when I was renting, they moved the rent up $40 a year. Now they moved it up $400.
So let's talk about that. I'm glad you raised that. So for example, groceries, yes, the prices are still too high. You know it, I know it.
Yeah.
Part of my plan is to deal with price gouging. I did it when I was Attorney General. I'm going to do it as president, which is these companies that will jack up the prices of groceries to take advantage of people in need, and in particular during a crisis, like what you see around the pandemic or Hurricane Helene.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Milton.
Now, while I disagree with this answer, it is an answer, right? It's an answer. But here's the problem. We're talking about price gouging during hurricanes and such. Okay, people I'm sure love that. Okay, great. I'm not going to discuss my feelings on that, but it's an answer. But did you actually say how you deal with inflation? No. That's the problem. No.
Right? So there's that.
Yeah. When the hurricanes come. Okay, hurricanes didn't come to New York. That didn't come to New York. So what about us?
In terms of housing, first of all,
that was it for pricing. The pricing answer was, if a hurricane hits you, I will sue companies that gouged you. This way, the government will get their cut of the gouging. That's how that works. I did it when I was AG of California. So you sued some companies, fined them, and took your cut. Did you give people money back? No, because you don't do that. The government punishes them by taking their cut. So here's what's going to happen. If they gouge people, the government will now sue you and take their cut of your gouging. That was her answer. But what about right now? No answer. None. You don't have an answer for that? You don't have an answer for that.
know that Black families are 40% less likely to own their home. And we can go back to redlining. We can go back to policies that were by law or practice meant to not give Black folks equal opportunity to home ownership, especially in certain neighborhoods. We can go back to what
history lesson. I got it. I don't mind history lessons. Sometimes they're good. I do them too. But
happened around the GI Bill.
Yeah.
And when all those, the great generation, we call them, came back, and there was federal policy to say, you all fought for our country. We're going to give you a boost around helping you buy homes. But those Black servicemen, and it was mostly men, those Black servicemen did.
Look at him smiling and laughing. He knows this too. I don't think there's a Black person in America that doesn't know this.
Not. So you had then a time when there was a boost. For it ended up being not for Black service members. So part of my policy is to, one, create a fund so that we will give a $25,000 down payment to first-time homeowners to just help people get in the door. We will deal with the rent issue, because part of what we're seeing in Atlanta, in places across our country.
We will deal with the rent. Is that rent control? Maybe. Is that rent control? We have rent control in New York City, lots of it. And the rents in New York City are, oh yeah, way too damn high.
These corporations are buying up all these properties.
Okay.
Which means then that they don't have to deal with competition between the properties.
Okay, so you're gonna ban these finance companies from buying property. Again, not saying I agree, but okay.
And they're jacking up rent costs. So it's about also going after that corporate gouging around what they're doing to buy up and then jack up the prices of rent. All
right. So again, this is my problem. If she were to have said, And again, if I'm her and her team, first thing say, okay, look, you're right. Prices are too damn high. One of the things that hurt us was the lockdowns. Well, she would say what was supposed to be done, whatever she'd say, right? Energy prices went high, everything was backed up, blah, blah. We're gonna cut the price of energy. We're gonna work on, and here's how we're gonna do it. Boom. People go, oh, that makes sense. You're gonna cut energy. Okay, that works. Okay. Now again, you may disagree with it, but it will be an answer. And she projects strength. She would say, we're gonna stop this, but boom. If you're gonna go after the price gouge, again, not that I agree, but then say it. And these guys who are gouging you, we're gonna get rid of them and we're gonna return that money back to the people. Oh, okay. None of that, she said. I made that up. She didn't say that. She didn't say any of that. She's basically no strength. She's like, and in terms of, and we're gonna kinda, and then we're gonna, she's not projecting strength at all. And she didn't answer any questions. We'll give you a $25,000 down payment for a home. Awesome. But there's no homes. Not just that, 25K is nice, but what if I have bad credit? Not just that, what if I can't find a home to buy? Oh, we're gonna deal with the guys who price gouge when they buy. Well, if you're gonna go after these guys, if you are, we're gonna find them again. So great, the government takes a cut of their grift. When you go after them, that means the government will find them. You don't get your house. You don't get any money back. What happens is the government gets a cut of their grift. That's how that works. That's what she means. So we're going to punish the guys. You ain't getting a house. You're not getting rent, but we're going to punish them and we're going to basically become a business partner in their gouging. This is not how you
Also
win.
need to help people with small business ownership. I did even before I was running for president.
I love small business ownership. I do. I'm a small business owner. But the vast majority of Americans just want to have a job and pay their bills, right? Some want to be business owners. And awesome for those of you who want to be. Please become entrepreneurs. I love the idea. But what if that's not where you want to be? I know I'm jumping on this for a bit. I know I am. But I'm doing it because you've been running now for weeks and you don't have easy, simple answers for this. I mean, I guess why I'm so disappointed is because I know she can do better. I saw her in debates. She listened to her team. She prepped perfectly. That debate was masterful for her. She's not a good candidate. And for watching that debate, that was star-studded. Again, for her, star-studded. That was an A+ for her. And then since that debate, I think she got defeated. She thinks she's better than she is. And she's like, oh, well, I can handle stuff now because I beat Trump in that debate. And boy, has she been failing since then. Do you guys think I'm wrong? I don't know. Adrian says, not to sound like a misunderstanding, but she should dig up a photo I saw of her dressed up for partying, and maybe she would have gotten a few male votes. I don't think men vote for that reason, to be forward with you. Do men like looking at women in sexy clothes? Of course, obviously. Clearly men like that. But I don't think that's enough for them to vote. I don't. I think that's enough for them to maybe like her, maybe want to date her or something or whatever. But I don't think men vote on that, right? I don't think men voted for AOC because she's good looking. I don't think people vote for Lauren Boebert because she's good looking, right? I don't think, I mean, both those women are attractive women. I don't think that's the reason. Could that get more people to notice them? So I think yes, right? I think it could. Oh, she said misandrous. Yes. Could that get more people to notice them? Yes. I think if you're attractive, look, Gavin Newsom, the opposite side. Gavin Newsom's a good-looking man, right? Justin Trudeau, good-looking man. A lot of women think these two men are attractive. So I'm sure they can look at them. It doesn't mean they vote for them because of it. I think men will look at someone like AOC or Lauren Boebert, who most men left or right do think they're attractive. Say, look at them, and maybe even go to their website because they think they're hot. I think that's true. I think attractiveness does matter. I completely think it does. But I'm not sure it's enough, if that makes any sense. Kamala Harris is not a bad-looking woman, right? There's a lot of women who haven't kept themselves at that level for 60. That I will say that. And a lot of men who'd be very happy at her, 100%. I don't think that's the reason to vote for her, but I think you're right. Some people might look at her more, maybe. Yes. So IC says, if Candace Owens' source is correct, her mom worked in the MK Ultra program. And that explains a lot about her vacuous nature. Oh, maybe. Kintsugi says you need a little ego, just not too much. Yes, agreed. You do have to have some type of ego. Agreed. But you don't have to be a nut. I agree. You don't got to be crazy. Not required. But a lot of them are. Just saying. A lot are. Yes. Greg says, do you think that she feels to live up to the expectations of the modern woman? I don't think so. I mean, she's clearly a successful person, right? Whether you would vote for her or not doesn't take away that she clearly successful. She's the vice president of the United States. So she's doing something right, clearly. So she's a successful person. I think that's true. She's successful. Lawyer, doing something right, right? I mean, at least smart, I would assume, right? Most people who pass the bar are smart. So unless you got lucky, I'd have to assume something like that. But so I assume she's at least smart to pass the bar. So she's probably smart, successful, clearly. So I don't know I think there's a lot of women who would look at her and go, I wish I could do that. I think a lot of women look at her and be like, wow, I wish I can do that. So I think if that is her concern, Greg, I think she's past it. I mean, clearly. She does have a lot of first woman things all over the place, right? So yeah. Yes. All right. Vivek says, you had a great pronunciation with Roger's last name. Also, other than Rogan, is there another unsafe conversation interview that Kamala could do that will stop the Trump momentum? I think she could. Look, if I'm the team now and I'm seeing what's happening, I would go right behind all of Trump's. Whatever Trump did, book all of them. Right behind him. Boom, boom, book all of them. Just do it. Just say it. Book all of them. Do it. What's the worst that happens? Look, unless they know something I don't know, and I have seen some polls, there are some internal polls that show Harris in a better position than the major polls. Maybe they believe those polls. Maybe they know something I don't know, right? Maybe I'm totally off on this and they know some polling I don't understand, and somehow Harris is winning in the swing states I don't know about. Maybe it's true. Could be. I don't think so. I think they're making mistakes, but I could be wrong. Why do I say that? Because now there's a conspiracy, which I do not believe, but there's a conspiracy that she was put here on purpose to lose on purpose because Democrats want, and this is a conspiracy I do not believe, because Democrats supposedly want Trump to win so they can complain about Trump for the next 4 years and not have to have any policies and raise money on Trump is bad, Trump is evil. That conspiracy even came up makes me think they may be screwing up. I do not believe that, but I'm just telling you that's now a new thing popping up. It's all part of the plan. It's not part of the plan. It's not. Sue says, Kamala is selected, not elected. The interview with Shay is wimp. Yes. Yes. Christine says, not narcissist, Lara, just super confident. Oh, I'll take that. Oh, I like that. I'm super confident. That's me. I like that, Christine. I'm going to say that. Yes, absolutely. I like that. So, yes. Let's see here. Kintig, I'm not sure if this is for me. I prefer the background. You mean her background? I'm not sure whether that was for me or not. Maybe I screwed that up. Hold on. Did I miss? Sometimes the stuff goes by so fast, I miss what you might have something before. So I'm not really sure. But I try to give that. I try to give a lot of my own background so you know where I come from. So yes. Adrian says, yeah, Kinzui, yes, believe in yourself more than ego, healthy self-esteem. Self-esteem is good. I agree. You should have it. Yes. Greg says, Trump calls the weave. He admits he goes off track, but for a purpose, or at least that's what he says. Yeah, I don't know, but he's more talented. Torrance, how are you, sir? WWE 07 to 09. There we go. So 2000s. There we go. Yes. There we go. So I remember he's been doing this for a long time. Like he's been part of like commercials and TV shows and stuff for a long time. Yes. So, all righty. Kim says, willingness to accept constructive criticism is a valuable tool. I cannot tell you how critical that is, Kim. When I chat with people, it's one of the things I look for in a candidate to be forward with you, right? Will they hear you? Not will they bend, because, a candidate needs to be strong, but will they hear you, right? Will they hear you? It's important. A leader has to be able to hear his team. I told the story yesterday. What's today? Today. About one of my guys telling me about how I felt about the left. And I heard him. And he was right. And I made changes. I shifted what I was doing because of that. So yeah, I do I do think that. So, yes. Unwashed says, Larry, you see the recent vid from Shanahan about men's approval of Harris? No, I haven't. Is it on Twitter? It's probably on Twitter. Everything Shannon does. I'll check it out. I'll see if I can find it. Absolutely. All right. So hold on. She's not learning because she's hiding something. Kim, I think you have a very valid worry there. I really do. I think the worry there is that she's just not listening to anybody because she doesn't want to show any weakness at all. And that is my issue. I think she wants to show no weakness at all. And Waltz is the same thing. Remember Waltz when I asked him, what about your service? Just say it. What about whether you were weapons of war? Just say it. They just won't say it. They just won't answer the damn question. Yeah, you know what? Whatever. Her stuff. The biggest thing they're beating Harris on now is the operations, sex change operations for the trans people in prison. Right. That's the biggest thing they're beating her up on. Just take a damn stance on it, one way or the other. And I don't mean to be mean about that, but just take a stance. She's like, well, I'll follow the law. No. Are you for it or not? If you are, just say it. Hey, yeah, do it. It's the right answer. At least there's a chunk of your body will go, okay, good, we're in. And others will be like, okay, how much does this matter to me? And the people already hate you. Or say, no, I've changed my mind. It's not what I used to think that. Now I don't. Here's the reason why I don't anymore. Okay, either one. But you won't do either because you just can't be wrong. You just can't be human. And you wonder why people don't like you because you just can't. You can say what you want. Trump is human. Too human.
Going to do. But it seems to you when you promise that if I'm president, this is what I'm going to do in the first 90 days. This is what I'm going to do. My administration is going to do while I'm in office. You're pandering. How do you get through to those that says, look, this is what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. If I'm elected president, these are the policies and they will lead to meaningful and impactful change.
Well, part of it is just to be candid. I think that there's sadly a misinformation out there about.
Yes. See, it's other people's fault. Instead of her saying what she should say, this is what she should say. You know, Shannon, you're right. I've made some mistakes in this one. And this is how I would focus it. To me, it seems so obvious. And I'm saying if I was her, if I was part of her team, to me, it seems so obvious how my policy is so much better than Trump's, right? It seems obvious to me that what I'm talking about is so much better. And you know what? Shame on me for not getting that everyone else doesn't think the same way I do. And I've got to be better and clearer expressing how much better my policies are than him. It's obvious to me and my team, because we all made these policies. We think they're great. So you know what? I need to be better at that. You're right. And let me start now. Boom. What a better answer. Take responsibility. You know what? These misinformation people. Let's just make sure the First Amendment doesn't exist. Let's yet again reinforce every bad thing people say about me.
Who I am and what I've done, because if people are informed about fact, they will know that almost everything that I'm talking about doing as president is built on a foundation of work that I've been doing for years. Mm-hmm. If it is about economic empowerment of the Black community and all communities, I've been working on that. As vice president, I am responsible for billions of dollars from big banks and big corporations, including technology companies, getting into community banks to increase access to capital for minority-owned and other small businesses.
So now, if that's true, and I don't know if it is, but let's say it's true, why don't you give me numbers? Why don't you know the numbers? Why don't you say, we had $14 billion go from company A to company B. We had $10 billion that went to the hands of these people. $4 billion went to these hands. Now I'm going, oh my God, she's doing stuff. And this isn't that hard to memorize. Memorize your numbers, whatever those numbers are, right? This is so great. I'm not saying it's not. I actually don't know about this, so maybe it's a wonderful thing. Okay, great. If it's a wonderful thing, show me how. Tell me what happened. There were so many ways this could be better. So Roy says, unqualified white person is Republicans' only preferred affirmative action program. I don't know. Republicans have Black people too, Roy. They're not all just white. They're not all white. Let's see. Andrea goes on to say this is the same reason Joe Jorgensen did the same thing over and over again. At least Jorgensen had policies. Yeah.
If you look at my work over a period of years, my focus again on something like maternal mortality is longstanding, which directly impacts Black men and Black women.
Right.
And the Black family.
Okay, but the mortality rate's still terrible. Like this much I know. You've been working on it and the mortality rate's still terrible. I think it's even worse. Do you want to bring up the one that did nothing? This is not bringing up the numbers is the idea of, well, I worked hard. You know who else does that? My Governor Kathy Hochul, talks about how hard she worked, how proud she is. Yeah, but what are your results? Her results are garbage. My question is, are her results garbage? I don't actually know. Maybe they're good, but then why didn't you tell me? You know, when I was in California, the mortality went to X to Y, went to this to that, or this. I don't hear anything.
If you look at the work that I am doing that is about small businesses, you know, the person who helped my mother raise.
This is just the work I'm doing. The work I'm doing. It doesn't mean she's having success. Right? That's my problem. She's just going, I'm working hard. I don't care. I don't mean to be mean. I mean to be forward. Great, you're working hard. Awesome. Do you suck? Kathy Hochul probably works hard. Probably, I don't know, but probably, no, she probably doesn't. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. She might work hard. It doesn't matter. Her results are garbage. People are leaving New York in droves. It's not working. Right? Eric Adams, I think he probably does work hard. He's always out doing something. He might be working hard. So Eric Adams works hard, and his results, garbage. City's a disaster. It's not working. Working hard is nice, but I need results. And business people understand that. Bureaucrats often don't. She's been a bureaucrat her entire life. Results don't matter when you're a bureaucrat. They don't. If you fail as a bureaucrat, what happens? You get more money. You don't get fired. You're part of a union. But when you're in private business, results matter. I know a lot of people who work hard who don't get paid.
Us, who was a second mother to us, was a small business owner. I have always focused for such a long time on what we need to do, knowing that our small businesses are part of the culture of our communities, right? Including the economic.
He's just smiling at her and laughing. It's embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
Fabric and strength of the community. So what I'm talking about doing right now is based on longstanding work. It's not new. But as president of the United States.
Okay, it's not new. So that means you've been doing it for years. Why are people unhappy? Why does the country think we're on the wrong step? We're on the wrong track. You're not helping with, this isn't helping with people who don't like you. You should literally acknowledge this. And I know because she's blowing, if I'm acting like I'm on her team. Clearly I'm not, but I'm acting like I am because I'm frustrated. Why aren't you saying, look, a lot of people think that we're on the wrong track, and I get why. And here's what we should have, could have, will. Here's why we didn't. Whatever. She won't even say Biden's done anything wrong. Well, you're saying you've been doing all this work all this time. Biden's done nothing wrong in her eyes, but the country thinks we're on the wrong track. Square that circle. You have a chance to square the circle now. Square it. Say why. Say what's happening. Why it didn't work. What you picked. And the other thing they're hammering you on, you saw it all the time, is she keeps saying, nothing comes to mind. Nothing comes to mind to change of Biden. Say, you know what? Something has come to mind. Say that. Use that phrase back. Something has come to mind. You know what I would have done differently? This or that. You have 7 days left. For their sake, I hope they know something that I don't. That's all I can say. Peace. Thank you for the $5, my friend. Remember when she talked to kids a while back and they had to hire child actors? It was so bad. You're right. She's not. Yes, she's learned nothing. She has not learned anything. She's not. She is clearly stubborn. Clearly. I can imagine what a terror she is to work with. That's why people leave. That's why she keeps losing people. She's a terror to work with. If she wins this thing, she's going to be a terrible president. Not that Trump will be any better. I don't know if he will or not. We'll see. But she's not going to be great. Yes. So there we go. Anyway. All righty. Let's see here. Christine says she's trying to fix what she and Joe did to the economy by regulating. Nice job, cackles. Kim says inflation never deflates. It only went up 20%, so now it only went up 9% more next year. So it's safe to say inflation is only 9%. Well, yes, but you can lower prices, right, by lowering other things, right? If you lower the cost of doing business, and people who hate capitalism always go, they'll just keep the prices up. It's utterly not true if you have good competition, right? If you have monopolies, no, they're correct, right? When you have monopolies or oligarchies, then that's true. You can lower the cost of doing business. They'll keep the prices up because you have a place to go. But when you have competition and you lower the cost of doing business, prices will come down. So assuming we can not do that, I mean, it could be tough, then yeah. Greg says, I'm sure there are thousands of companies that sell products to grocery stores. Is she going to go after all of them? No, only the ones who can write big checks. Yes. That's it. Yes. Mike says, nothing in America is being affected by price gouging now. 37 states have laws in place. That's true. New York too. 0 cases. It's distracting. The do something solution to the economy and inflation. Yes, it means nothing. It means nothing. Yeah, I completely agree. 100%. It means nothing. Absolutely. You're correct.
States, part of why it is important is it is a new approach to that job. It is about a new way that is based on a new generation of leadership, that is based on new ideas, and frankly, a different experience that brings my commitment to the work I am talking about.
Okay, this part's utterly incorrect. She is establishment. She's utterly establishment. She's been a bureaucrat her entire life. She's utterly establishment. She's not new. She is the establishment. She's Hillary Clinton 2.0. That's true. She is. The AC says people think we're on the wrong track because Republicans use it as an electoral strategy to say we're on the wrong track. Democrats are feckless and agree with that because they'd rather get some middle of the road people than do anything for the working. I think you mean working class. Sadly, AC, the Democratic Party is no longer the party of the working class. The Republican Party is not the party of working class either, but it is being flooded with the working class because the Democrats are clearly not it. The Republican Party has been in flux since 2016 and Trump, and it's still in flux now. One of the reasons why they struggle with get that ship in place. Most Republican policies are not for the working class. Are they trying to get there? I think Trump is trying to get there. I think he is. I'm not sure if it's him or his team. I don't know who is trying, but like that no tax on tips things. That's the kind of thing working class people tend to enjoy and want, right? No tax on Social Security, right? Those types of things are closer to working class policies than the Republican Party has been in decades. So I think they are trying to get there, but they're being flooded because the Democratic Party is clearly not the party of the working class. So many people are either checking out, going to third parties, but most of them are just going to the opposite party. They're just flooding the Republican Party. The Republican Party is flooded with working class people. It's not flooded with working class policies, but it's definitely flooded with working class people. I think that's true. So I think that's a piece that's there. And she doesn't understand either because she's establishment, she's elitist. She does not get the working class. And most Democrats, not workers, most Democrats in the establishment feel the same. Look at all the people in the media. Look at the people on MSNBC, people on CNN. They're all of them go to Ivy League schools. They're all Harvard, Yale, Cornell. They're all like that. They're all like that. Some of them may have come from middle class families, but they're all now elitist. So I think if you look at it, the Democratic Party is no longer that. And that's why they can do it. People feel they're on a wrong track, not just because of that, AC. They feel the country's on the wrong track for many reasons. The prices are high. People can't buy houses. People aren't getting together and having relationships, getting married, having children. Lots of reasons on the wrong track. And whether it's just or not, and sometimes it isn't, whoever is the president gets credit for it or punishment, either way, right? The economy under Clinton was awesome. It wasn't just because Clinton was great. A lot of it was because of the internet and the dot-com bubble, right? But he was president then. So Clinton's awesome and the best president and the best everything. Yeah, it's true. Absolutely. It's how it works. Fair or not, it's how it works. right? So I think that is how it works. So with that in mind, Trump gets credit when he's president. Biden gets credit when he's president. Good or not, I think it's true. Christine says, drill, baby, drill. Let's become energy dependent and price will come down. As long as we don't make a monopoly, Christine, yes, that's the issue. As long as we don't go monopoly, 100%. The AC goes on to say, our economy took a hit and inflation's high. It's high everywhere post the bug. I know that it hurts us, but the U.S. is doing way better than a lot of other places. But the issue here is, that's accurate in many ways. But the issue here is we as an individual, we are comparing ourselves to what we think is our peer group. That's what humans do. So I don't look at Europe as my peer group. I look at the people I see in America. So if I see people doing well, whether that's on Instagram or TV or on Joe Rogan or whoever, I think I should be doing well too. If I see people around me in my neighborhood driving better cars than me, in bigger houses than me, what do I think of? I should be doing better too. If I see people around me in good relationships with either family or friends, and I don't have that, or lovers, whatever I'm looking for, and I don't have that, I go, I'm not doing good. That's how I judge myself. So I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying Americans don't care. Americans don't go, oh, well, Europe is doing worse, so I'm okay. We don't do that. We don't. We go, that guy's doing better than me. That guy, I want a piece of that pie. That's what we do. Fair or unfair, it's what we do. So I get what you're saying. I'm saying that that's not what Americans are doing, right? They are actively looking at each other and saying, I want a life that I think I deserve. And you hear her, she uses that word all the time. Harris uses that word constantly. What you deserve, what we deserve, what you deserve, what you deserve, constantly. Well, it doesn't matter what the Europeans are doing, AC. It doesn't matter what the Chinese are doing. I deserve. I deserve. And if I deserve and I'm not getting it, well, there we go. So I think that's what most people are looking at.
Into being.
Can you give us a breakdown of how you will allow Blacks and other minorities to access capital? Because you speak a lot about capital, and in order for people to become successful and have some wealth, is that they need to have access to that to get started.
So
hold on. Vivek asked a question. Do you think going on Tom Bilyeu, would be a game changer? Yes, he's very popular. Just to be forward, though, the reason why it would be a game changer if she would do it is Tom now is backing Trump. Some of you may not know this. Tom is not a Trump supporter. Tom, I met him before. Tom is and again, he would not think I'm talking out of turn. Tom is a big time RFK Jr. supporter. Big time RFK Jr. supporter. He has decided that he's voting for RFK Jr. through Trump. That's why he's voting Trump, not because he likes Trump, because he is a huge, very big, hardcore RFK Jr. supporter. That's who Tom is. Again, I'm not talking out of turn. If you asked him, he would say that. He would agree to it. He said it publicly. So I'm not talking out of turn here. He would say that. That's true. So to your point, Vivek, yes, if she went on his show, and people on his show know this, he said this. He's openly said it. So, and he's had Nicole Shanahan on the show. So if she went on, yes, most of his audience is going to be thinking the same way as him, which is they're looking at RFK Jr. / Trump. So yes, if she can make that work, and the problem with Tom though is Tom is a tough interviewer. If you've watched him, he does walk down roads. He does move people right. He does ask tough questions, and his podcast is 2-3 hours long sometimes. So sometimes his podcast is so long. If you watch, he does 2 or 3 of them. And he splices them together. They're 2 or 3 hours edited. So imagine how long they are unedited. So yes, maybe too late, but yes, he's very popular. 100%. I think that'd be a great idea. Yes, absolutely.
That's in fact why I did starting earlier this year, my economic opportunity tour, way before I was running for president. because I realize that so many of our entrepreneurs don't actually have that we need to do better in getting information to people about what's available to them. So for example, through the Small Business Administration, there are funds available to help people create a business plan. There is resource.
So what she's saying here is, I will change nothing. I will just let Black people know they can do these things. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not a plan for Black people. She doesn't have one. Yes. She didn't have one. I don't know what else to show. This did nothing. It showed nothing. It wasn't impressive. It wasn't bad. I mean, she didn't hurt herself, right? I'll give her that. It wasn't bad. But if you had to ask me, whatever time it took to get there, say it took 2 hours to get there, whatever it took, 3 hours to prep, right? 3 hours to get there, 3 hours back, 6 hours, and then an hour there, 7 hours. Those 7 hours could have been spent someplace way better. I don't know where, but just way better than this. So yes. So I will grab this last piece if I can, and we'll see how this one goes. I know I'm punishing you guys. I'm sorry, but yes.
Understand. Again, don't take my word for it.
Take his.
Yeah, take his. And see where he stands on these issues.
Okay.
I want to get you out of here on this one, Madam VP. You, like myself, attended and graduated from a historically Black institution.
Proudly.
And it just goes to show you, if you look at myself, Stephen A., Michael Strahan, three of the most prominent voices in morning television, attended and graduated from an HBC. Yourself ascended to the highest of highs, graduated from an HBCU. What message would you like to share with students at all these historically Black universities and colleges? What message would you like to share to them?
That is how you end the interview. That's how you end the interview. Yeah. That's how you do it. Oh my God. Super Weapon says it's not an information problem. It's kneecapping you as an entrepreneur before you can start. Yes, agreed. That's the biggest problem. Vivek says, I think Tom Bu will be great for Harris because left-leaning people like Pacman and Destiny have been on, and the comments in these videos, a lot of people defend him. Yes, I agree. Yeah. No, he's very popular. He knows, I mean, if you guys don't know him, but yes, 100%. He's been on. He's very popular. If he would, I think he'd take her. I think he would. He would be challenging her. He would, but I do think. I don't think he'll do it. I don't think she'll do it. I don't think so. That'd be my guess with that one. So yeah. I did something. I don't. Have I asked you guys today already to do this? I'm sorry, but somebody's yapping about this. This got me so fired up. Have you clicked the button known as like? Have you done that yet? If you haven't, you should. I promise you. No, in fact, if you don't click the like button, I'll put more of it on. Otherwise, I'm done putting that on. I have other things to talk about. But don't click the like button. I'll put it back on. I'll have a cackle right there. I'll do it. If you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, please share this if you could. If you have not subscribed on YouTube or Facebook, please do so. Thank you so much for the super chat. Super chats go right to the front as always. And members, I try to get my members to the best of my ability. And by the way, I will be having members only. Yes, I will. Probably starting next week or the week after. Not sure, depending upon the election. I will start next week or the week after. Members only sessions where only the members can get in. That will happen coming up here in a couple of weeks. So if you want to be a member, you can. It's $4, $4.99 per month. Click join on the Sharpe way or on Larry Sharpe. I like Larry. Do Larry Sharpe. Larry Sharpe is cool. But either one, I don't care. Pick the one you want, whatever you like. Click that join button, become a member, and we'll start some members only content in about 2 weeks or so in that area. But no matter what, click the button known as like. It is how I get to move forward. It is how this begins to happen. So please do so. It does matter. So, all righty. IC says she really hasn't unburdened herself. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I really think it's important that people do unburden themselves, particularly when you're doing this, right? The problem is whatever you do or say is gonna come out. So just do it. Christine, thank you for being a member. Good to see believers on this feed. There are many believers on this feed. There are non-believers too. You hear them also. The thing I like tremendously about the chat that we have here is very often you will find people of all different ethnic backgrounds, religious backgrounds, political backgrounds, not wanting to kill each other, which is nice. Having actual conversations and even holding me accountable when I don't call balls and strikes fairly. I try to call them fairly. I really do. I know though that I am biased. I wish I wasn't. That's true. I'm going to be. I'm. Sometimes I wish I wasn't, but generally speaking, I know I am. I'm a libertarian, clearly, so I that does cloud my views. But I try to see what I think is going to help and what will actually work more than anything. I try that very much. And sometimes you guys come up and say, Larry, no, you're wrong on this, you're wrong on that, you're wrong on this, all those types of things. And I try to listen to the best of my ability. So yes. All righty. Khalidi says she's not giving us anything at all to show she relates to us in any way. And the thing that gets me angry is that she had opportunities. The thing that's funny is Torrance brought it up. When Trump was on Joe Rogan, and if you remember, I said it, you guys asked me, if you remember, what should Trump talk about on Joe Rogan? And I said, not just policy. Talk about his time when he was, doing The Apprentice. Talk about his time when he was building stuff in New York. Talk about his time, talk about the UFC. And he did that, and it worked. It worked because Trump isn't good naturally at empathy. He isn't. And when that happened, people got it. People remember what he was talking about. It worked. She has opportunity to build empathy, but she's so busy trying to be cool. I'm going to tell you, I think this could be her own insecurities, is my gut. Her own insecurities. She's so busy trying to be perfect, she's not being human, right? I don't try to be perfect. You can see it in what I do, stuff around me. I don't try to be perfect. It isn't my issue. I don't try to be perfect. I very often will stop and think, change and adjust, shift. I don't try to be perfect. I try to be smart. I do. I try to be smart. I try to do my homework. I try to know stuff. I try to be smart. I do. And even then, I don't know everything. I still make mistakes. You guys correct me here live. You've literally corrected me more than once, right? So you correct me. So I'm not perfect, but I try to be smart. I try to be intuitive. I try. And I try to be open. I try to be those three things. I don't try to be perfect. I can never be perfect. I can't be good enough in that regard, right? But can I be smart enough? Yes. Can I be savvy enough? Yes. Can I be open enough? Yes. I can't be perfect enough, right? That's not a thing. I can't be that. So I try to be all those things. And when I'm not, sometimes you guys call me. It's why I like doing it live. Because you can literally call me out live. Literally, just call me out live. Perfect. So great that you've become a member, my friend. I appreciate it. Every membership does count. Thank you, brother. So this is why I try to do things live so that I can be that way if at all possible. It does. Yes. So there we go. IC says Tom is too cerebral for Harris. You know what? That is really, you're right. He's very cerebral. He is. But this is my point. Imagine if she was able to go on there and her team was able to sit there and chat through this, right? And chat through this and make it work to where people go, wow, she's smarter than what she could go back and forth with Harris. I'm sorry, with Harris. With Tom? Huh. Okay. Again, I'm not saying this is easy, IC. I think you're right. It's not easy. It is not. But if you're losing momentum, again, maybe, you know what? I could be wrong. Next Tuesday comes and, she knew something and she wins Pennsylvania and North Carolina because she knew something I don't know. Then I'm proved wrong. But it doesn't look like that now. Fiona Moore says she's the epitome of too cool for school, but in a bad way. Yes. Yes, absolutely. So Special Action says, I'll call you out live. Why are you now paywalling videos? You never did for Patreon members. I'm paywalling videos? When did that happen? Oh, you mean for the members only stuff? Yes, I will eventually do. I did do 1 or 2 Patreon onlys. That was years ago. I didn't have the Patreon members. That's the reason why I didn't have enough. If I have enough members, then I'll do members only stuff. That's it. I do members only stuff. That's the reason why I would do it. I never had enough Patreon members to do. I did some members only stuff, but there were so few members that make any sense. If I got a bunch of Patreon members, I probably would have done some Patreon member stuff only. It's not paywalling videos. It's rewarding members. And I mean that, right? You can get all my stuff free. You don't have to be a member. I give it to you for free. And I don't only pick member responses. I prioritize members' responses. Clearly, it's obvious. I'll double, triple up on members, 2 or 3 of them in a row. So I prioritize members. But I do not but I do want to reward people who will become members. You don't have to. It's up to you, right? You get my shows, but I will give special content for people who will become members because you don't have to and you're choosing to. So why wouldn't I be good to you? Does that make sense? Maybe you don't like it, but that's that. I hope that answers your question at least. Again, I'm not gonna lie. I'm assuming that's what you meant. So yeah, I don't paywall my regular videos ever, at all. But I'm trying to grow membership, so I want to give members a benefit to doing it. Otherwise, a lot of people won't become members. So I want more members to be members. That's why. Hope that makes sense. So anyway, Joel says, aren't you describing OnlyFans? Yes, I am. However, look, I'm not against only, I don't say the word because I get in trouble. Only people. I'm not against only people. If you want to do only people, you do only people. You do you. I don't have an only people. So I'm not doing that. So yes. So Colity says membership has perks. There we go. Yes. Well, that's fine. Street Chillaxin says, Street Chillaxin says, it's no problem. It's a bit of constructive criticism. I'm not sure it's criticism. I think it's an opinion. I'm not taking it as criticism. I'm taking it as an opinion. And I get it. I understand. At the same time, for those who don't know, I put out, give or take, 10, 12 hours of live content every week. That's a lot of live content. Most people do not put out that kind of live content. Most don't. And doing this show, I lose money. The people you see who are helping out, I pay them. They love me, so they don't charge me that much, but I do pay them. So I have to pay. I pay for this. I pay for the things. I pay for the things that this show costs me money. I lose money on this show every month. If that makes any sense. I lose money on this show every month. I lose money. I don't make money on the show. And I'm not joking. If one day I make money, I'll tell you, but I lose money every month on the show. So if I can get people to give me members so I can start doing more of this, because I still have bills to pay. I have to work during the day. So I still have work to do. Like I still have to, do my consulting gigs and stuff. And I got to learn stuff so I can sit up here and talk about stuff and not just pull stuff out of my derriere. So yes, just for that. Yes, Missy says we do love you. Yes, my team does love me. That's true. Just not free. So that's all. So that is what I mean by that. So yes. Straight Shock says I will member through YouTube instead going forward. You don't have to, brother. It's up to you. But you asked the question and I wanted to give you an actual answer, right? I wanted you to know I had an actual answer. That's all. It's all good. And feel free to give your opinion as much as you like. All good. Kim says, and I appreciate your show more than you know. Oh, Kim, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Andrea says, you do put out a lot of free content. I do. Lots of free content. Yes. In fact, the radio show I do on Tuesdays, you guys see I do those radio shows on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 1 p.m. The call-in show, people call in to me. Yeah. I don't get paid for that. That's free. I don't get paid for that either. So yes. So yeah, I'm clearly an ideologue trying to push through. Yeah. Daniel says, blue leaning YouTube channels say Harris is winning. Red leaning channels say Trump is winning. This is what I'm saying. This is close, guys. This is. I know a lot of you have been like, I know my guy's going to win, but this is close. I still don't have an answer who's going to win, but here's what I'm going to tell you I believe. Here's what I will give you as prediction. It's not great. It's a little bit of a cop-out, I'm admitting. It's a little bit of a cop-out here. It is. And maybe I'll change my mind as it goes on. But at the moment, I don't think either one of them is going to win by a lot. I think right now it's leaning Trump. I think it's leaning Trump as we speak. That's what I believe. It's leaning Trump, and mostly because of momentum. I think the momentum can be broken by Harris if Harris does something special. But I'm as time goes on, I'm trying to imagine what the thing could be. I'm putting myself in the head of her team thinking, what the hell would I have her do now? What do I have her do? Like, how do I fix this? I would be pulling my little hair. I'd be pulling my little hairs out right now if I'm on a team going, how do I fix this? What do I do? What's the thing? How do I break this momentum? And in the past, it worked so well. If you remember, Trump got shot. Oh, Biden drops out. Boom, momentum gone. Right? This happens. Boom. Now, all of a sudden, it's the Beyonce concert. But I mean, like, boom, they were breaking Trump's momentum left and right. If you remember early on, they were doing perfect. Boom, broken. Boom, broken. Boom, broken. Now he's just, nothing's breaking momentum. And people are already voting. I don't know how you get around this right now. That's why I'm saying go on Tom's show, go on Joe Rogan, do something. I think if she doesn't break this momentum, I think Trump wins. But I don't think anybody wins. And 270 to win, right? Right now, I would say my gut says whoever wins with a low around 280. Just wins. Like 281, 276, something like that. Like right in that. That's my gut right now. That's the closest I'll do. It could be either one of them, tell you the truth. I could see either one of them right now winning. I don't. If by next Friday, if in the next 3 or 4 days, we don't see this momentum break, I think Trump's going to win it. That's my gut. But still not by much. Not by much. People still don't like Trump, and they have a lot of money, and money does matter. Money doesn't control it, but money does matter. So, Andrew, I thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Thank you. A member does count. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate this. Absolutely. So, okay, let me keep going down here. Let's see here. Kinsugi says, I predict riots on election day. Mike has predicted them the day after. So, Kinsugi, you and Mike are almost together. He says the day after. Let's see. Yes. Shan says, I hope Trump landslides. I'm going to tell you something weird. Whoever wins, I wish it was a landslide. I'm serious. I wish it was a landslide. Right? I wish it was. That would be that would, I think, be better. As hard as it would be, I think it'd be better for the country if either one of them landslides. Better. If it's close, it makes it worse. I think Kinsugi and Mike could be right together going to like, well, was it this day or that day? Yes, absolutely. So, yeah. Mike says, RFK is 2.5% to 3%. Stein 1 to 2%, 30 Michigan. Chase and West combined 1%. See, I'm not as sure anymore. I would have agreed with you, Mike, a couple weeks ago when the Trump train didn't really get on board yet, hadn't changed and shifted yet and put all the people on. But they have now. You can see the RFK people now in. You can see the Tulsi people in. You can see how the Trump team has put them together better. 2 weeks ago, they were flubbing it. Just moving forward, they were flubbing it. I was saying it. I was openly saying it. They were flubbing it. They're not. Now it's together. And MSG, I think, showed it. I think it did. My gut says that I'm starting to think that Stein beats RFK because so many RFK members are going Trump. But I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I'm like right there. So, but I think Chase and Cornel West, yes, are not going to do well. I agree. I think Stein. My thing is Stein and RFK. I think Chase will do better than Cornel West for one very important reason, because he's simply in more states. There's just more ways to vote for Chase than there are Cornel West. Cornel West is in what, 30 some odd states? Chase is in 47. So that's why I think Chase will beat West, just because there's more, it's easy to vote for him. I think that will be true in that regard. Stein's about the same as Chase, a little bit less, but Stein is going to be killing it in certain places, just doing great. So that's why I'm sure Stein will beat Chase. And Stein has raised almost $3 million. Chase hasn't even raised $500,000. So absolutely. But RFK is still going to do well. A lot of people still vote on RFK. Kinsugi voted RFK, right? Oh, was going to. I don't know if she is, but she said she was going to. So yeah, I see where you're going with that. So John, thank you again for the $2, my friend. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. All right, let me grab here if I could. Kevin says, I know who's going to win my state with about 65%. There's no reason not to vote Oliver. The same can be said about 42 other states. Agreed. I know who's going to win my state. But my state won't be as your state will be more than mine, I think, right? New York State is not in play, but New York State is not going to be a landslide like your state, right? I do not see it being 65-35 in New York State. I don't see that. If this was 4 years ago, maybe, not now. I don't see it. It's more like 55-45. It's more like that. Harris will still win my state, but it'll be like 55-45. It will not be 65-35. I can't imagine that. There are far too many people. There are far too many people who are unhappy with Democrats in my state. There's far too many Democrats who are unhappy with Democrats, right? Too many of them. So, Ganjanady says a contested election. I don't see that. I don't see it. Someone would, I mean, it could happen. There is a possibility of 269, 269. It's very slim, but it could happen. If it falls exactly right, each should get 269. If that happens, Trump wins because Trump will have more states in that one scenario. If that scenario happens to happen, it could. I wouldn't bet on that if I were you. But if it does happen to happen where it's 269, 269, Trump would have more states, so Trump would win the election. So there would be officially a contested election. It's true. There would be one officially. The 12th Amendment will come in. For those who don't know, if nobody gets 270 electoral votes, the election is thrown into the House, into Congress, and the Congress picks the president, but not by congressional seats, by congressional contingents. So each state gets one state. Wyoming is as popular as California, and Trump will have more states. So with more states, Trump will win the election. So if there is a contested election, and there is a small chance of it, if it does, Trump will actually win the election. That's how that would work if that happens. But he won't officially win it until until January. When the new Congress comes in, they would select the president. So Trump wouldn't win the election until that time, right? But everybody would know he's going to win. It would be a done deal. We all know that he would win if that were to happen. So, but that's how that would work if there is one. Someone else would have to win an electoral vote for anyone else to be in it. And I think the odds of the only person who would have had a chance is RFK Jr., and his team is not working to make that happen. So I can't imagine him winning an electoral vote now. I don't know how that would happen. I can't imagine it. I don't see any way. I see zero chance of unless I'll give you one crazy scenario. The Green Party and Jill Stein decide to throw every single thing they have into Michigan, which, by the way, is what they should do. And they're making a mistake not doing that. They should throw every dollar, every person, every volunteer, and then they have all their time. They should move to Michigan and work just with Michigan only. They should do that. Assuming they did that, this is a crazy scenario. They do that, and then they get 35% of the vote, and that's enough to win the three-way race. So then Jill Stein wins Michigan. I'm not saying it's going to happen, Danjan. I'm saying you're asking about it. This is how it could happen in theory. If that happened, then Jill Stein would also be in the running for president in January. But Trump would still have 26 states, and he was to be president. But what would be impressive to happen is Jill Stein would officially be in the running. Her name would be on the ballot that the congressional contingents could write in, because it's the top three. That's how it works in the Constitution, top three. So she would be on the ballot, and in theory, Michigan should vote for her, right? So she'd get one vote of states. Harris would probably get 22, 23 states. Trump would get the rest, and he would win. So that would be a theoretical way that could happen for someone else to be in a contingent election if she did that. That's not going to happen. Don't bet on that. I don't see a contingent election happening at all. I see no pathway to that at all. So just giving you my 2 cents on that one. So Coley says, is New York turning red? No, it is not. No, it is not. Too many people who would be voting that way gone. Yes. Oh, Mike's got one. Okay, I'm sorry. Here we go. Mike says, popular vote is plus 5% Trump. You think Trump wins popular vote? Possible. I'm not betting on that one. I do not see that. I don't see Trump winning popular vote. But if Trump wins popular vote, that would be a game changer in American politics. I mean, the Democratic Party would have to, that's not a bad thing. The Democratic would have to really reboot itself. They would have to really reboot themselves. It's probably not a bad thing to happen. I don't think it'll happen. But if Trump wins by 5%, if he beats Harris in the popular vote by 5%, if that actually happens, be the best thing for the Democratic Party. That ass whipping would be the best thing for the Democratic Party to happen. If you care about the Democratic Party, if you really do, if you lean left and you want a better Democratic Party, hope Trump gets 5% more in the popular vote. because that would break the party. Like they would be like, what? Oh my God. That Trump beat them by 5%, popular vote, break the party. You would watch it crack in half. You'd watch that party crack. You'd watch maybe in thirds. You would watch that party crack maybe in thirds because neocons would want to take it over. That's what would happen. If Trump actually beats Harris by 5% in the popular vote, you'll watch neocons leave the Republican Party in droves. They will run away from the Republican Party. They will jump into the Democratic Party because they'll watch it. They know what I know, it'd be exploding. They'd try to grab it. Oh, good, we got a party. So neocons try to take it. The standard Democrat establishment would try to keep it. And then the actual left would also try to take it. There'd be a three-way, absolutely. Yes. And he says electoral 312. Oh, you higher than me. Okay. Potential 312. Oh, that's what? If he wins, what? Is that Michigan? Or whatever you're thinking. Yes. Up 327. Okay. Oh, no, it's Wisconsin you're thinking. Okay. Fine. All right. So 312, 327. All right. You said it. Okay. Leftist riots 1 hour after election called. Damn. Okay, he called it for me. There we go. Mike's on the record. I'll give you that, Mike. You on the record. I like it. I like it. That's awesome. I like it. So Vivek says, because average polling shows Harris winning if you assume it's accurate, unlike 2016 and 2020, and Red says because of the momentum and lots of first and support of organization. Yes, that's correct, Vivek. I think you've read that perfectly. Yes. I see momentum being important. People like voting for winners, whether it makes sense or not. People like it. Lots of people like it. So when they see, it looks like Trump's going to win, that makes more people want to vote for him, whether they like it or not. That makes more people want to vote for him. So I do think that's true. Yes. Roy says it could also break the Republican Party because then Graham, Cruz, and all the wannabes would have to kiss Trump's ring the rest of their lives. They do it anyway. No, Graham will do it in a heartbeat, Roy. Graham will do it in a heartbeat. So will Cruz. They've already bent the knee to him once before. They want power. They will absolutely bend the knee, Roy. No doubt. They will 100% bend the knee. No question they will. So Christine says, Dems already broken. Christine, they're not. Look at them. They're not. They still win in, 20 some odd states? They still control most of the government? They're not. No. And it looks like they're going to get, at the moment, they're going to still win the popular vote. And if you notice, that's one of the things that keeps Democrats happy all the time. We win the popular vote, more Democrats, more people right now in America are registered Democrat than Republican still. So they're not. Trump doing that would absolutely break them. So yeah, absolutely. If Trump wins the Republican Party, if Trump actually is 5%, if Mike is right, I can't see him being right, but I may be telling him next week how sorry I am, but I can't see him being right. If Trump actually wins by 5% popular vote, the Republican Party will, within the next 5 years, become the party of working class. It will become that. You will watch its policies change. You will watch all the traditional Republican stuff you saw change. Tariffs, which were, no Republican liked tariffs. If they did, they would lie about it because it sounded bad. Tariffs will be the norm. You'll see Republicans. I'm not joking. You will see them pick up things like minimum wage. You will watch it become a party of working class. I promise you, if that actually happens, you will watch it happen. They'll become a part of the middle class because neocons will leave and they'll all go to the Democratic Party. They'll just leave. You will watch that happen if what Mike says is correct. I don't think it is, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Dems are doing just fine right now. They are not broken. Use them as broken because you hate them, but they're not broken. They're just not. See, IC says it. Not broken enough. They're not. Absolutely. Kenneth said, I want to see Chase get 5% just so we can vote Spike Sharpe in 2020. Thank you. I appreciate that. But that's not going to happen. He has to raise more money, and he can't. And he just can't. Yes. Nancy K says, I figured out a large segment of Harris voters. People with corporate jobs with fat 401ks love that stock market. Yes, that's also true. There's no doubt. The Democratic Party has become the party of educated women, but in general, educated people. And most educated people who have decent jobs, not all do, but those who do, often have corporate jobs and often have 401ks. That's accurate. I think you're right. That is a big chunk, right? That is a big chunk. So yes. Rachel Action says the Rogan effect is very powerful and should not be underestimated. Not to mention, he did get shot. Yes, but the shot part they blew off, right? Again, they cut the momentum on that one. But your point's valid. They have not broken the Joe Rogan effect momentum. They haven't broken it, and they need to, right? They need to. Yes. All right. Adrian says we need at least one party for the working class. Yes, I agree with you. I'm with you on that. Right now, the party for the working class right now, believe it or not, Green Party. I know they've got some crazy stuff going on too that I do not agree with, but they talk about workers constantly. I'm not a Green Party member. A lot of stuff I do not agree with, but you asked that question. The party right now that is talking about workers more than any is absolute Green Party. Green Party talks about workers all the time, constantly. So that's one good thing. Yes. So Shane goes, if neocons went to the Dems, I'd vote Republicans more. I think a lot of people, what I think you're starting to see, which could happen, is what happened in the 60s. In the 60s, the parties kind of swapped in many ways, right? The party kind of swapped in many ways in the 60s. And I think you're seeing it happen now, 80 years later. Was it 60 years later? 60 years later. You're seeing it happen again. A swap is beginning to happen. And I think if what Mike says is correct, I think you'll see that swap in 5-6 years. You'll see that swap happen. And you'll see a lot of people who are Democrats now be like, I'm Republican. Because it will switch. It will swap. The parties will actually change. I think that will happen. So yes. All righty. Phil says, respect the Democratic machine. It is powerful, Phil. You're not wrong. I have watched it crush me. So yes, it is. You're not wrong. It is powerful. Yes. Greg says, how in the world is the Dem Party the party of educated people? I'll tell you why it is. Starting around Bill Clinton, that's when it really began to happen. The Democratic Party started to stop caring about the working class. It began to shift on how it is the working class. It began to shift and start moving towards things like, remember Bill Clinton said it, the era of big government's over. He was talking like Ronald Reagan. You heard it. It was changing. Kim says it too. I've been noticing its bits since Clinton. Yes, that's it. Kim goes on to say that. The parties are swapping now. It's happening. It is happening now. Yes, 100%. I do think it's happening. 100%. So Roy says, hint, the billionaire bankruptcy to avoid paying working class candidate isn't actually helping the working class. Well, I think what I'll say to that is, I would agree that the Republican Party is not the party of the working class. I think you're correct on that. However, it is becoming filled with the working class because the working class feels dismissed and disrespected by the Democratic Party. The things that the basket of deplorables, if you're a conservative, get out of the state, these types of things make the working class feel like, oh, you don't care about me. So they leave. And then where do they go? Well, I guess they're Republicans. But the Republican Party is not currently, they are filled with the working class, but their policies are not for the working class. I agree with you. However, what I'm saying is if Trump actually wins the 5%, if that's true, you will watch the party become the party of the working class because neocons will leave and the working class will flood. And as the working class begins to take over leadership parts in the Republican Party, which is what will happen, you will see the Republican Party become the part of the working class. And while Trump may not be the hero of the working class, the next people behind him, they will be. That will begin to happen. You will see the Republican Party become the party of the working class. Again, I'm making the assumption that Mike is correct, that he would actually do it. Yes, 100%. So Vance, Cruz, Graham, and half of them former cabinet military say he's not fit. So Rogan's like the rest. Vance has bent the knee. Cruz bent the knee. Graham bent the knee. They both bent the knee. Right? They're supporting. They are supporting him. Rogan doesn't care either way, to be forward with you. He doesn't support anybody. He can do whatever he wants. Whatever he wants. However he wants. He's good. He's got FU money. He doesn't care. He does whatever he wants. But those three guys need to stay in power. So they kiss the ring. They kiss the ring. 100% they would. And they won't leave. Right? Even if neocons left the Republican Party and Democrats, Graham would just stay until he's done. He's too old. He's not changing. Cruz would just stay and become a non-neocon. He doesn't care. He'll just do it. Vance will become whatever the new party is. He'll just become that. He won't care. Graham is still a neocon, but he'll just stay like Manchin stayed a Democrat when he wasn't a Democrat anymore. He's just too old. He's like, I'll just stay. People know me. I've got my own power. He'll just stay a Democrat till he retires. Graham will still be a neocon, but he'll just stay in the party because he'll retire whenever, next couple terms, whatever. That's what will happen for Graham. So he'll stay anyway. And he'll ceremoniously, he'll kiss the ring, but he won't because he doesn't have to. So yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, so let me keep going here. All righty. Jess says, I've been thinking the same thing. Parties are swapping. I'm not happy about it, though. Just distracts from independent movement, which I thought was making history that will last. Yeah, I'm with you on that, right? I really do think that independents are still the number one. Mike, are you bugging me on my 100% thing? All right, now I'm going to stop saying it. I'm going to stop saying 100%. I'm going to start going 99%. Take that. I'm going to start doing that instead. You guys give me shit about my 100%. I'll stop saying it then. I'm going to say 99%. How about that? You like that? So, yes. Kim says, the Democrats are replacing the working class with illegal immigrants. No. Well, yes. Mix. Migrants keep coming because big business wants them for workers. That's the number one reason why they come. Number one of all the reasons. Farming too, but big ag. So also big business, even when it's farming. That's why they want them. The Democrats as a party haven't been stopping that, but Democrats have been pushing education and stopping, at least in New York, openly stopping kids from going to trade school. So kids aren't learning the trades. So our kids can't fill these jobs and don't want to. Like they've been trained. Don't do that. That's stupid. That's bad. That's for dumb kids. It's for bad kids. They've been told that for decades. So our kids aren't going there. So someone's got to do those jobs. So in come the migrants. But here's the issue. Again, assuming Mike is correct, and the Republican Party over time becomes the party of the working class, those immigrants will become Republicans because they're working class. So right now, most immigrants don't know what to do, which is why you find many immigrant families kind of 50-50 breaking it up. They don't know which one is which because there isn't an obvious working class party right now. And they don't know about the Green Party. So there really isn't a working class party right now. So what do you do? Well, if this change happens, these immigrants will just become Republicans because that will become the party of the working class. If that makes sense. Right now, it's, I guess, I don't know. So, any case, no, Larry, say 101%. That's even better. So, yes, 101%. That'll take it. Guys, I want you to make sure that you please click the button known as like. I know I ask you because it does matter. If you haven't shared this, please share this already, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. Subscribe if you haven't. Make sure you click the notification bell for notifications. I apologize this afternoon. I had a technical issue with my notifications. They should be coming back on now. On YouTube, do that. Super chats, I always love. Memberships are awesome. Please do so if you can. Either way, guys, I'm going to let you go. I will not be on this live show tomorrow. I will be instead doing a live event for the Libertarian Party of North Carolina, which I will let you know what I'll be doing. I'll be I will be a moderator for, I believe, 3 or 4 independent candidates that are running, libertarians and independents. So I'll be doing that tomorrow around 8 p.m. I'll let you know what I'm doing there, but there'll not be a live show here. I'll be live on there instead. I will be live, though, on Thursday and on Friday. Saturday, I'm doing a charity event, so I will not be live on Saturday, but I will be live on this show Thursday and Friday of this week. I will see you all very soon.